Hey, what's up? So, I'm gonna get straight into this. So this video is just gonna be all about, or I guess, I don't know, not a video, whatever. This whatever it is, this talk, this discussion. It's just gonna be a talk about um why it's important to feel your emotions, and also how distraction can creep up on you even when you think you're doing something good for yourself. There's literally no like way to describe it. I just have to get into it. So simply put, it's like feeling okay. So sometimes so when it comes to like I call it spiritual bypassing. I don't know why the spiritual bypassing is coming to mind, but it's not that. It's more like distracting yourself from feeling something by replacing the thoughts, um, which fuel your emotions, with something else, with another thought. So for me, it's like I'll have certain thoughts, and instead of allowing the thoughts to be the thoughts, because I know that the thoughts are eventually going to lead me to feelings, and I don't want to feel that because it's going to send a feedback loop right back into my mind, which is going to like reaffirm the feelings are going to reaffirm my beliefs, and then my beliefs are going to fuel my feelings, and it'll just be this little cycle for however long. And I really don't like the idea that my mind be can do that in my heart, in my feeling, my body can do that. I don't like that. Um, and so what I'll do have most of the time, and please, think of your own situation as I tell this. But oftentimes, what I do is I will, I will, I will watch something. I will watch a bunch of things that tell me all the reasons why what I'm going through is good. Like, or I will logically think myself out of why this is good. And what that does is to a number of things, but the first thing is it doesn't even allow me to feel what I need to feel. Okay. Um, and number two, it also just it's not gonna allow the feeling to pass at all. Because the point of feeling things is so that it can settle over time. But the more that or maybe you're someone like this too, but the more that we do things like this, the more that we kind of layer on top of our thoughts, we supplement our thoughts with a reason why this is happening. It's happening for a reason. So, you know, cheer up, it's good. And I feel like, yes, that is true. Things happen for a reason. What does that reason mean that you stop feeling what you feel? Does that mean that it's kind of an excuse to basically disregard or not pay attention to how you're feeling? No, it's not. because like I said, like it's not going to go away. The only thing that'll ever let your feelings pass is by feeling them. That's why they call it feeling. Feeling is a verb. It's not even a noun. So feeling is a thing that we do. And so if you're stopping yourself from doing something naturally, um, I don't know, it won't make it go away. It'll come out in other ways, you know? Or maybe it'll come out later, depending on what it is that you are feeling about. Um, so this is just really important because I'm gonna get a little bit comfortable here because yeah, but like this is really important because I'm realizing some things about myself. Um, I typically don't like, for example, I typically don't understand the way that I feel or when I feel something. I usually consider it to be an observation. And I don't think that's a bad thing. To me, I like that, right? I don't identify with how I feel. But in the times where emotions are important, that's kind of when it's like, okay, like now you kind of have to understand. Like if you don't understand how you feel, like, dude, you're kind of like you kind of fucked yourself because in my own solitude, right? Of course I can identify the way I feel as an observation. I can kind of just observe how I feel or whatever, right? But like, what about when you're in a relationship or when you're getting into a relationship? What about when that relationship is just a mere friendship? And it can sound so confusing because if you don't know, if you don't feel, then you'll never have the words to even articulate what it is that you're feeling and why and how. And like I said, relationships and social ships, communication, basic communication, a good conversation, I believe, is not in how many words you can talk about, but how well you can articulate what it is that you feel. Think about it. Great conversation is not just how many topics you can talk about. It's more of like a story. And stories, they all have very descriptive languages. They all pretty much capture the essence of what's going on, the mood, the tone. All those things have to do with how you feel. And so if you are just bypassing it or you're analyzing yourself, you're analyzing your feelings instead of allowing them to be feelings and then allowing the thoughts to be what they are as well. It's a whole nother thing because the thoughts that come with the feeling is a part of the package. If you want to think of it like a subscription. Like, okay, I'm having these thoughts. Now I know that I'm gonna have some feelings with it as well. And you've already subscribed to it. So it's like fucking you better just sit there and take it, bro. Um, pause. No. uh um yeah. No, anyway, it's like it's just like that, you know. Allowing your thoughts, the reason why the thoughts are important too, like allowing yourself to think what it is that you need to think, is because those inherently like relate. Oh my God, hold on. Okay, so it's because those relate to how you feel. Like I say, like, my fault. Uh, your thoughts relate to how you feel. Like when your thoughts are literally just the word version of the way that you feel. You know what I mean? So if you're feeling something, there's gonna be a word behind that so you can articulate it, so you can get it out. So the thoughts are just there communicating to you why you're feeling the way that you do. And so it's important to kind of like just kind of like take that in for a minute, you know. Um, to really just the next time that you feel something and then you have thoughts that follow, they're just communicating to you why you're feeling the way that you do. You don't need to identify with it, or you don't need to like argue with it either. I find that arguing is not good for any type of relationship, especially with yourself. Um, so we want to make sure that we're just kind of letting them be and learning to understand them the same way you would want to be understood in the same way that you probably want to understand your partner if you care about that, or anything else that you care about. So it's like family or whatever. Um, it's like that, like just let it be what it is, and yeah. uh, two more things, and then I'll be off. Actually, no. I think what I'm about to say is about to be a little bit too personal. So I think I've said everything I needed to say. Yeah, so feel what it is that you need to feel. Think whatever it is that you need to think. Know that your thoughts are literally just communicate or word descriptors of how you're feeling. And so if they keep cycling, pay attention to them and get to know them a little bit so that when you have this conversation with yourself, with your inner dialogue, with your inner whatever monologue, you have the words to articulate how you feel, like in response to how it's being coming up in your head. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not really when the thoughts arise, it's not going to coherently articulate to you exactly what you're feeling. You're gonna have to have a conversation with yourself. Um, whether you're doing it through journaling or you're speaking it out loud, whatever it is, um, you're gonna need to do that. And when you do that, it's going to um, get you to be able to actually, you're going to be like, you're going to ask yourself the why, and then you're going to be able to be like, oh, okay, so I feel this way because X, Y, Z, and so my thoughts are like that. You know what I mean? So you're kind of like articulation is not the immediate thoughts. It comes after the understanding of the thoughts. You know. Um, so yeah. I think that's all I want to say, to be honest. Um, don't be afraid to feel. It's okay. Just like know it's okay. Know that it is what it is, honestly. Like anything else is just choosing war, and why would you ever want to be at battle with yourself? I don't know. I think that's pretty silly. Um, so yeah, with that being said, yeah, thank you guys for listening, and I will catch you when I catch you. All right, peace.